Good morning, Miguel. How you doing this morning? Looks like today we open up with a little bit of a scare, and something that I will do early on is how I'm going to analyze this going forward because I still have the inclination that this could be a fake out and some kind of upward move into expiration, as we could just see the 2 hour pullback right now that dips us down into the gap, and then we figure our stuff out and start to turn the other direction. But for now, we are starting to lose that 5-day moving average on the 30-minute chart, and we would need to see more rolls below that, correct? We have seen us break it, but do we see us break it one more time to really get this thing ramped up to the downside? As of right now, we want to treat this like what? Maybe we want to pay attention to this, and I think that in the including the extended hours, actually, you can utilize the price action for today. That seems like the likely thing for me. And we see here that we have seen that support come in at our 95% line in the sand for the day, that 595.34 to the downside for the SPY. And we do see that it dipped down into the gap, which is very interesting for those buyers to step in there. So what do we want to see today? Most likely we will get a test of these lows early on in the morning where we extend up. We will come back down into this wick for the most part, and this is where we will see if we're able to go to the upside. So this is something that I would really be paying attention to. If you wanted to even leave up the extended hours, I would totally understand it. But for us over here, like, right, we just look at this kind of thing. For this one over here, that would mean we're just paying attention to any kind of support that comes in towards this right here at 595.34. Or if we're able to build back into the daily expected move, reject off of that daily expected move, however we would like to do this. But for the time being, the 2 hour is still very, very positive. So we mentioned this early on in the week. What level do you need to break on the 2 hour to start to really get bearish? That level would be right here at that 591. We mentioned this at the beginning of the week. We have not gotten to that level, so I am not going to get bearish before this actually, and I mean bearish as in like daily pullback ready bearish. I'm not doing that until I see the clear way that we're going to break down over time, which I do believe is marked off by this low. This never really showed itself. So what I would really look at here is, do we figure our stuff out at some point to turn back up into positive territory? As you are outside of your daily expected moves, you now have a 68% chance to close the end of the day back above 599.55. Alrighty? Looks like we got a lot going on. Now, volatility did get that pop we were talking about. It is too bad that you did not get that to confirm like during market hours. That would have been such a great hint. It does look like it wants to maybe come down like this for just a moment here. Then we see some kind of pop in volatility. That maybe is able to subside with a lower high. And then we'll look for volatility to come back in really, really soon, right? If this is just some kind of fake out to the downside before we head up into Vixpiration and quad witching, well, then this would be very interesting because that means we're going to potentially hold reversal signals throughout next week as well. We're just maybe going to squeeze. That would be very, very interesting to see. So for the time being, I am not taking upside off of the table, but I want to make sure to lose this low before I get any kind of bearish. Morning, Toronto. TH, Doug, how you doing? Charon, sorry if I butchered your name. Junior, what's up? Robert, good morning. Bernie, Ed, John is here today. And Miguel coming in first. That a boy. Let's see. NVIDIA calls are screwed. NVIDIA, very, very good here for NVIDIA to be breaking out. And actually, weirdly enough, you had dark pools on this too. Like I've seen a lot of people pointing out dark pools. Is this really bad? Were you were probably 0 DT or something if you're really pissed, but yeah, you have to know that this trade right here, once again, just this is why I keep saying this in my videos on YouTube. The much easier trade to execute is going to be like either this one, if it shows you those reversal signals up here, or even right now, right? Starting the short position for a month and then seeing it get up to here, and then it finally comes down, and then you look at the behavior around here. This is a much easier trade right over here. This is a much easier trade right over here. And so what you're playing right now is this. This is what you are trading right now. So you're probably a little shorter term than me. That's all you're trading, but here's what you could do, right? Like that's what could happen. This is where you could get to, and that's where it just starts to become like risk to reward. It's not the best. What you're counting on is a mega moment to happen, which I think is possible, but is it probable? Am I going to bet on it? No, no. If anything, with that, I'd be like still looking at Apple like, hey, is that going to be a higher low? Right? Hey, can Apple flip this back around? Like what can happen here? Why would I rather even still be looking at Apple? Well, because it's been bottled up for a while now. All right, it's not doing this. It hasn't done that part yet. It's only done part one, so I'm waiting for part two. Part two would be awesome. But is it going to get that as it's starting to roll, right? This is going to be a complex one, right? We shouldn't be really too happy with this one until we see that 2-hour confirm up. You need this 2-hour to confirm up into positive territory for Apple. The 30-minute just looks not very good. You need to see that higher low. Good start. Good start, but we have to be taking this out. So you need to see boop and then keep going up. Because if you go like this and you just bank, you're going to turn down. It's not a good sign. Keep your eye on it. Volatility will be very interesting next week. I think we'll see. I think this is so. Remember when we talked about Vixpiration? We just talked about this because we've kind of been. So the way we've looked at Vixpiration in the past was just like, hey, okay, there's volatility around this time. Okay, we don't really talk too much about it, but Vixpiration now during this kind of market seems like it's kind of dry until you get to these kind of points. So you have to be willing to watch for those expirations. So now Vixpiration turns into this big thing where you can see volatility before, like a couple days before it, but you want to look at how is it going to rebalance. And right now, volatility was low going into these next few days. So maybe they want to pop it higher so that we can curl back up and see those highs and keep the VIX at the same type of level once we see the next upside move, right? It's weird, but you do need to think about Vixpiration in a way of like, hey, what's VIX looking like a couple days before Vixpiration? Oh, it's really low. Okay, so there's probably going to be a pop in volatility. Notice that this is almost like an overreaction from volatility, by the way. Like, if you really want to talk about it, if you really, really, really want to think about it, I guess 1.5% down, okay. But like now you're only down, what, point something, 0.5 or something like that? Or you're down 1%. I don't think that's justified to be up by 13% on volatility. Like, I get it. But I think people are over hedging here. And so it kind of leans me towards Vixpiration doing funky things. Or at least I'm going to pin that little point in my brain, okay? It's like, it doesn't have to be, but I need to make sure that I'm still paying attention to what actually makes me bearish. Okay, lose this. And then I can start to look for bearish things. My assessment is we're going to retest lower levels early in the morning. We're going to retest into these areas, this dotted line. We're going to retest that dotted line in the morning. How is AVGO? AVGO is doing the exact thing that we were hoping it would do, right? The first move is a down move, right? Remember when we drew this yesterday? This is how I think that this will take place. I don't think these are not 2-hour bars. I believe those are days. This is what I think happens for AVGO. It looks pretty nice, actually. I think this would be very, very cool. So that's what I think will happen. We'll see if it's right. I'm going to leave it there. I think it's fun. Let's go look at the Palantizzle. No, no, no. Palantir, I'm sorry. The government loves you, so you're probably going to go back up. Palantir, 30 minutes still in range, going positive, just testing off at the 5-day as of right now, going back into the blocks that it used to need to break out from. One of those blocks being right there at this high, right there to this low. You see that it's reacting down into there. This is not bearish by any means yet. Once you want to get a little bit bearish is when you start to lose, right? You lose, you rotate up, you lose, and then you don't figure your stuff out because this is still very bullish from right there. Palantir doesn't look too bad. IWM, looking at IWM, we do have the daily expected moves for IWM. And this thing is tapping back into the zone. Not a very good sign if it wants to curl down on a daily chart. So you don't necessarily want to see a curl down right now. This is not necessarily a good thing. You can bounce back and forth, right? Ping pong. But you really don't want to get any kind of chance that this is going to happen. So what you want this to be is a dip down to grab something to go back up. To say something like 222, maybe even by next week. You want to squeeze here. 30-minute is going to be really, really deep. So this is going to be rough. But as it stands, see if the 2-hour chart, yeah, so you can see if it's able to figure itself out. This means look for something like this, break above, right? Come down into that gap, break above this, show that higher low, curl to the upside, and we're off to the races next week. Maybe. It has to be pretty damn quick. Yeah, I don't know, IWM. You don't really have the best reversal signals. I still think a 2-hour move. This looks like it wants to do this. But that would take too long. You're going to have to see, like, up. That would take too long for IWM. I don't think IWM can get there now. It would have to, like, you don't understand. This would have to, like, bam. I don't know if it can get there. I think it's going to reject. Or maybe do this very quickly. Like, yeah, just, like, snap all the way back. Get to the expiration or the 20th, and then you just fall. I don't really like this look from IWM now. The only thing that's good here is squeeze, in my opinion. Ugh. I don't think that's the best. The reason I'm saying not the best is just I like to have a bunch of reasons, like hard reasons that I like, that I take trades based off of. And right there, I just see there's just not a lot of reasons, especially even with timing. It's kind of rough. 204 for Apple today, jumping out. Ooh, I like that. The Ukrainian ladies, you getting some ladies on Amazon. You want to check out Amazon for a second here? We can look at Amazon. I did think Amazon would continue further, right? 1, 2, kind of come down for a 3, get into that gap. That's good. So what do you need to see here now? Well, now you have this level kind of marked off, pretty important. If you really wanted to get like tight into it, guys, you can mark these guys off. Like I get it, like you can, but just get used to seeing like, hey, this is the point where I need to break above, right? And then if that updates and you go like this, okay, this is the point that I need to break above, right? Just get better at that. It'll keep it very, very simple. But what do we notice here? This is one that lost that 5-day. We build up, we kind of get that quick roll. So what we need to do is see support come in. We need to see this drop be able to get bought up, cross through these type of levels to come back down into it. The reason for that is you're going to need a higher low from this MACD. It is very, very deep. That means if you would just randomly, turn up and never come back and retest, well, at some point you could just roll that move and that could be just a lower high, right? We don't want to see that. You could just come up to this type of zone up here and reject and turn way down. So you kind of want to see this thing go and give you the good structure to the upside and see that roll and then see that turn around. This is the actual trade, in my opinion. But this is very good to see because the 2-hour is still saying like, hey, this should, for the most part, be a pullback. This is pretty extended across. You can probably read into it on like 4-hour charts. Like you can blatantly see it. So I understand if you're like, hey, there's extreme weakness here. So if you're, say, like shorting up here at these levels, and then you see this and you go, okay, well, how could this go wrong? Really, the way it goes wrong is just the 30-minute curls up and takes out this high and never is able to roll over. So you would also just say, I'm taking a 4-hour trade. So bring that down to an hourly chart and say, if the hourly is able to curl up, the trade is going bad. The short is bad, and we actually might be still squeezing 220. All right, there's a full little prep for your kind of mentality towards your bearish trade. For your bullish trade, you just need to know that you're most likely playing a move like this if it even comes, and you need to do those higher low things to really see it happen. But the hourly chart for a swing trade could be good here. It just curls up like this. You see if you can ride that, see if you can hit that 220 mark, and then you have to kind of be honest with yourself there and just be like, wow, for the month, that's definitely a risk off type of moment. Yeah, try to break that one down pretty thoroughly. Amazon is one that we like to pay attention to. We are not even going to get a test of the lows. Are you kidding? That is crazy. We're just not going to do it. All right. We sure about that? Yeah, we're sure about that. Okay. We are sure about it. That's the way up. You can still reject from here, but My goodness. There's your way up. Oh my gosh, it's really going to turn around just right away. It's not even going to test the lows, is it? Don't hold. Yeah, I would be cautious with your puts for now. This is not exactly what you need to see yet. You have a pathway down. You definitely have pathways down. Like don't think it's not like still like rolled, right? It's still rolled, right? You still need to see this to go back to like bullish, but I totally understand when you see that buying going neutral, right? Hello, VIX gapping down. Is it really? That's actually kind of funny. Usually you'll like to revisit those gaps. Oh, it's not gapping down, but oh, slightly actually. But yeah, there you go. 30-minute comes down into here. We watch for that second move though, right? We watch for the second move right here for a lower high. That actually could be the dip. That might be on like Monday actually. Wow, interesting. Very crazy. Very crazy. What else is going on? Apple's actually positive. Oh, yeah, Apple. See, this is what you don't want Apple to do. You don't want it to stop here. You want Apple to extend past here at the least. You want strong buying into the dip, into another bit of strong buying going into the end of the day. You want Apple to be strong at the end of the day. Tesla still really close to that center line. 30-minute swing trade here. If this is some kind of fake out in some way, and you're going to end up back up towards that 343 next week, maybe even a test of 355, this is the moment to do it. You're kind of exceeding too. You're kind of like ramping up the downside. You see how it's starting to tilt? You want this to just snap back right now. 30-minute crosses up, 30-minute goes into this area. And then you just look for like a weekly expected move early next week and you go take my money and run. Might have to look at that one. Amazon we just did. Nvidia, same thing, right? We are not even doing the first step of bearish things, by the way, as far as price action goes for Nvidia. And if you look at this 30-minute, you're going, okay, there's a lot of chop around here. I think it is holding the divergence points. That's why I'm like not happy with trading it. But as far as shorting it goes, you're still in the time where you could squeeze into expiration. Make sure these lows are taken out because like literally you have to take this out to really get that momentum going to the downside. So see if it's taken out. And then the sad part is the 2-hour has to take out like this level or even this level to get bearish. It's just an extremely bullish time. I think it's coming down to an end, and I think this will end pretty badly for Nvidia for a little bit, but how bad could that be? That could literally just be like 130. So I'm not the happiest with this, but I know that this, as far as it goes, is just a test of the 5-day moving average right now. You're not making a new low. Make that new low, then come up and retest that area and fail, and this is where you can start to go down lower. For now, it's just holding price. For now, it looks like you're about to get some news that other people know and you don't. Yeah, okay, we're clicking around too much. Sorry about that, guys. Can we look at BA? Yeah, well, let's look. That's 2-hour. So the daily crossed here then, right? Okay. So what do you not want to lose? That guy right there. Don't want to lose that guy. You lose that guy, you start to get pathways down. So I think what's very probable for Boeing here is to get a reaction up soon. I would like to see today that break through this white line. Then I would actually like it to right away come back and come into this area. And then I would like that to roll. If you get this kind of setup here, it would probably look pretty obvious on like a 4-hour chart. I bet it would be 4-hour chart. Maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, actually, it could. It could. So the 4-hour chart, look for one more roll. You look for this to like cross up for like 1 or 2 bars, and then you look for it to roll. That would be the case here for Boeing. Boeing is right now seeing that major weakness due to a bunch of divergences, even on the daily scale. So this is most likely front running what's to come maybe after the next week or so in the market. But I think Boeing has the chance to react up, test these areas up here. You see these coming down? Test these areas up here. It's within the gap. It'll like that area. You can see left, head, right shoulder. So I think you're looking for a counter reaction to what's been happening, and then you can see if that's able to fail. You're looking for an upward bounce, a dead cat bounce that fades. What is the blue colored indicator? This one right here. This is your MACD. IWM down to 208 today. If 210 fails to hold. IWM, I'm kind of worried about. I don't really like this look right now. As far as it stands, I don't like it too much because I don't think you have enough time, and I I don't think you have enough time to get to that 222. I really don't. You'd have to see like just up. I think you'd have to just go up. Like I think it's more possible that you're gonna figure stuff out and do like this, and then you're just gonna run into the bottom side here and turn down, which is a bad thing. You want to peek your head above here, like when you don't show your head above the bulk of what's going on over here, you don't even show your head above it, then it kind of makes you lean towards, hey, we could see something aggressive. We didn't have enough buyers. So what could end up happening from there is you see like a sweep, right? A sweep of everything. You get that little, and you even break down a little bit. Then you get that reaction up and you go lower. You take care of all these gaps. Like that's how you get there. So this is why it, and I'm not saying that's like high probability. I'm saying by not being able to get above the center there, you're saying there's not enough strength. So you're opening up the door for a full reversal to go grab buyers to make a major higher low. I don't think it's like bearish. To say a higher low at deeper levels is a bad thing. No, it's fine as long as you're not losing the next low. But by not getting up to here or breaking the top side, you have a lot of risk of turning down. You guys remember this, right? This is the same as our zones back here on the SPX. It's the same exact thing. Okay, so this is the bulk of the area in here. This is the bulk of the area in here. And we go, okay, so if we want to get to that zone with the higher low that dinks off of our support now, the higher low 2-hour trade was this to this, right to that line. It was perfect. Now, what you wanted to see was it peek its head above. That gets us a little bullish. That gets us a little bullish. And then we don't see the breakdown in price action, so it goes through the top. That's why this is very bullish behavior, right? If you would have came up, IWM is doing this, coming up to here. What do you think is very possible if we come up to there? That's what IWM is kind of showing. I don't like that look. I don't. Right? It's kind of showing like, oh, I don't like that look. So it needs to squeeze and shut me up, right? Squeeze and make it go up. That's all you have to do here. It's pretty funny. Like the only thing that really can make markets be more irrational is more irrational things. Is energy tanking? Energy? Wait, am I getting that wrong? Energy's tanking. Energy's not tanking. I was going to say, I was like, USO, the call out we had on USO was right. Oh my God, you have so much going on in here. Holy crap. The only thing I would mark off here is what I actually freaking care about. I would literally only mark off like these highs. I would literally just be like, hey, get above that, and we're looking for pullbacks. Even if it goes wham, we're looking for a pullback like this. That is not falling. That is going up. Look at USO, by the way. Did you guys look at this today? You guys look at USO getting above our target? Look at that. Holy fam, look at that. Now, what do you think is very probable to happen here? You might be even reaching up to here. But this thing is getting way overbought. So now you're probably going to see it roll, come down into this area, maybe even take care of gap, and then you'll be able to turn up again. Wham. You know the funny part is, you know, I don't know if rate cuts are going to be the reason for a lot of this, but we'll see. I guess we'll see. We'll find out. We will know eventually. It usually comes back. Exactly. Yeah, I think it retraces back down into the zone. I think you're gonna see like a little 5% drop. VIX goes below 1960 today. Could make a double top at the center line for the daily. Possible. I don't know. Wait, what, Chuck? How much did they short yesterday? 40% of the float? Yo, tell me when it's over 100%. When's it over 100%? By the way, I told you GME, I'm not like bearish on it. I think this is where it needs to snap back. This isn't like the worst thing in the world. I know it seems like if you had an option for today, yeah, it's the worst thing in the world. This is why you just hold the stock. I think this is where it bases out. And I said most likely it's going to make a higher low. Or sorry, 30-minute means divergence first is what I think comes. But I'm hoping for just the snapback. I told you, I think might be a shakeout. I'm going to see if it builds back. I'm not going to have an option on it, but I'll hold the stock, you know? Like if you were going to buy an option, wouldn't you buy it like here and buy it for like a month and see if GME just does that? And then you can be like, at least you made a nice trade. Like if you're going to gamble on it anyway, it's like at least do it when it's really, really low and buy like a month and see if it snaps back to here and then you can make some money. That's my thinking. Let's actually like look at this. All right, let me add extended. Like that's gonna help. Oh, there you go. Perfect. Nice. Okay. It's just really freaking weak. Oh my god, look at these sellers in here, man. Look at that. That's where you're gonna reject from. Damn, if like I said, if this is a fake out, you just need to see the daily just whip. You need to see the stuff just whip back up. Look at look at that just seller wall right there. Holy crap. That's just rough. What about this guy? Hey, wait, why'd you gap down? Why'd you gap down yesterday? What? Wait a second. Wait a second. Why'd you gap down? Did you dilute shares too? Huh. That's weird. Oh, Bitcoin. Yeah, I didn't know. I did want to talk about Bitcoin. We talked about Bitcoin in the video last night. This is where you can make that lower high. Look at the 4-hour though. This is very, very cool. So the 4-hour, once again, we're losing that, right? Look if the 4-hour curls up. What do you have? You still have a higher low. Like this was kind of melt up. So this could just be a pullback. The 4-hour could just turn up here and then you burst through, which would be a good sign for GME, weirdly enough. Because what are you doing here overall? Well, weirdly enough, when you broke through this level right there, you didn't really make that shoulder right here to give you that higher low. So you notice that we didn't get the higher low over here to go up further to continue, but instead we exceeded it. So now we're making the right shoulder that could have been super late. That is a high possibility that this is a left head and right shoulder right now. And the 4-hour is going to continue this move. That's freaking crazy, but that is how I see it right now. It looks from a price, like from the price standpoint, it just looks like it's grabbing buyers when it forgot to make the right, the next higher low. Yeah, they do, Chuck. Greetings from Peru. Hey, Fred Hazard, soccer player? No. My buddy did like dentistry or something in Peru. Pretty sure. I think. Hey, you gonna be on this afternoon? Ooh, I'm thinking about. I don't know. It's almost Daddy's Day. I don't know, Richard. It's almost Daddy's Day. Hmm. I'll have to see. I'm pretty sure we're getting better and better every day over here, but I need to know, man. Hmm. Yeah, I could hop on to the close today. I think I have time. If you guys want me to hop on for the close today, I think I'll have some time. Sorry. Hold up. Yeah, I should have time later today. I might only be like 40 minutes or so. It might be just after the last hour, or like just after the last hour begins, but I probably could. We're supposed to go have lunch with my Faja. With my Faja. Okay, Q's doing the same. I love the Q's dip into here. That is spot on. That is so good. Nvidia, still good. Amazon, spot on, baby. Spot on. Woody! Woody Faircloth. Thank you for subscribing. Why does that name sound kind of like... I feel like that's in a video game somewhere. Dollar coming back. What are you doing? What are you doing? You dipped down to lower levels. You said you were gone, and then you're going to make this little divergence over here, and you're going to just expect us to take you again? All right, where's UUP? UUP. You guys gotta learn this stuff right here. UUP. This is the dollar. You can trade this. Not a lot of people do, kind of. Actually, probably a shit ton of people do. That I'm thinking about it. This would be high or low for this, but you could use the Dixie just to see what's going on here. You can see Dixie's actually showing you a divergence. And then you can use like little 2-hour charts. We've both been busy. Tell the wife I say get well soon. Hey, Richard, thank you for that, buddy. We can still hop on later today, Richard. Though I've kind of been trying to take it easy because I'm doing a lot here at the house, but I'm down to maybe hop on later today if I can. If I can't, maybe we'll do a private live stream or something like that. Thank you so much, Richard, for the $5 in the super chat. But thank you for the donation on PayPal is very, very nice. Thank you so much for that, Richard. I'm thinking about doing a private stream again on Sunday. Just thinking about it. What do you guys think? Hey, I appreciate it too, Richard. Richard, how much? If you don't have to tell us the exact numbers, maybe percentages. Were you able to make a good percentage on the what's it called? AMC or GME? Were you able to do that? You look at Palantir. If you can hold 136.23, looks pretty good. Yeah, we can look at Palantir. Yeah, you can use 2-hour charts, 4-hour charts, stuff like that. So 4-hour high low, whoop whoop whoop. All right, UUP is what you use over for the dollar. Oh, hell yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you, Rich. I'm glad it's like tip the waiter. Tip the waiter. Okay. So I wanted to look at Palantir. I have a hard time being bearish on Palantir ever. Just because, and we even said, like, just watch. Like, I don't think this is bearish for Palantir. I think it could break down lower, but there's your 30-minute going again. I literally said, what, 15 minutes ago? It's very hard to ever be bearish on Palantir because of politicians. Or I think I said government. But still, anytime that all the politicians are bullish on something, just be very, very careful with trying to take big short plays on it. You can do little ones. It's kind of like if you tried to short Nvidia all of like the last 2 years, that's going to be Palantir now. And Palantir is probably going to make its way to 1,000 at the end of in 10 years or something like that. And then Nvidia is going to fall down to back down to $100 or something. So that's truly what if Nancy keeps putting calls into this every single year, then every single year it will go up. I will just tell you that. She knows the government contract. She knows everything going on with it. For this stock, what was the actual question, Duranto? Can you look at Palantir? If you can hold 136.23, it looks pretty good. I think Palantir just looks good right now. As far as like a level to watch for it, let me pull it up on my other charts. There it is. A level to watch for it. Dude, this thing could still scream higher. This thing can scream like way higher, guys. Just so you're aware. This is going to be a very difficult one to be like, oh yes, short right now. Pretty much what you could see from Palantir is a spike and fade. So a spike up to like 150 to 155, and then a complete fade. And then you look if it's able to hold in here for that daily pullback. If not, then you could end up giving up a lot of the move before you're able to come back, because this is going to be extremely... I mean, look at this time. right? This is what I'm talking about can happen if you get up to like 153, 155. That can happen. You kind of just want to be like, all right, so this can happen over here, right? If we get to there, this is what I think could happen over there, right? Look at this. It's not the craziest thing to think of. And right now, I would say it's curling up on the 30 minutes, so you can't really be bearish on it. It's curled up on the 2 hour. The 2 hour does have divergences, but guess what? It can wipe those out and do what? It can just scale this up, right? It can just go boom, pull it down, boom again, or boom, pull it down, lower high, and then we start to break down over time, which is this marked off correctly? This isn't marked off correctly anymore. You've built a lot more in this area to where you need to include more here. You need to include more of the area now. Yeah, there you go. So it would look something like this to break down. And then what you would want to see around this time is, do we catch ourselves here and turn around with a divergence, or do we lose this, right? Do we lose that low? Because then you're probably going to like keep going down and do something like that down there. So I'm bullish on it for the very, very short term. Once we hit 150, all bets are off. I think you could see just a complete sweep and completely crush the bulls for a moment. But is that going to be a real crushing, or is that just going to be like a drawn out daily pullback down to something like 120 and then it just ramps up again, right? That's all you need for a little daily pullback, is that right there. But you see here, look at the divergences popping up. I think that we're going to go through something a little uglier. I think that you're at least tapping down for Palantir into here during the daily pullback, if not the center down towards $94. So I would really be watching for like up into down, and then you see if it can turn around. But up into down, that kind of rolls for a bit of time seems more probable to me to get that nice round out kind of look. So yeah, sorry. I just wanted to go through a lot. There's a lot of things that can happen with Palantir. I would just say it gets a lot riskier for more downside, and the probabilities are with downside once you hit 150. Yeah, that was really drawn out. I'm sorry about that. If anyone was like, why are we still looking at Palantir? That's what I see. I don't know about you guys. You know, I always respect your guys' opinions too. If I'm seeing something a little bit different than you are. Okay, good. Okay, yes. Go retest the lows. Go retest the lows. Go retest the lows. Go down here again. Just go down to this line. Like so your risk to reward here, as far as it stands, risk to reward is like, hey, do we dip down to here? And then the risk to reward play, if you want to degen this into OpEx or something, is like Friday calls from right here to like right here. And then you just see if you get the boom early on in the week. And then you just go, okay, I'm done. Like that's the degen play. If you didn't know, that's the actual like riskiest degen play, but that's what people will do. Oh my goodness. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Bull trap. Like the thing that we're getting here is at tops, like when you're seeing kind of like squeeze into a top, you see this squeeze into a top. What we're getting is now we're going to get moments where volatility increases, but then you create the top. Got that? Now it can be different. It doesn't have to look like this at all. But once again, squeeze, volatility increases. See the big up and downs now? And then we form the top. So at this moment, what are we at? We're at the first signs that volatility is increasing. We're at the first sign. Volatility is increasing. But we could just do this, then we could fall. I'm saying like this is just the first time it's increasing. So pay attention to if we get some of that like up and down in this area. Volatility is up, so we're going to see more up and down. But that usually is what you see when you try to make some kind of top or breakout to the upside, right? Once again, you squeeze up, chop, then you go up. So it's important to watch right here and be like, okay, do we do this? Because that's how we continue, right? Do we see volatility increase and just Monday we see a big move like this and we go like that? And then do we fall with that volatility, right? This is when you really want to be watching things. This is where you increase volatility to create the top a lot of the time. If you're just going to turn down, then it's probably going to be what? An excuse like the war, whatever. Are we going down? We are already past the 599 expected move. I think that you will end the day relatively flat from the open. I think you'll either end the day relatively flat, and let's actually look at this for now, just so you can visualize it. Like a lot of the time I like market hours, so I can just know that this is a support line. What you want to see from here is the retest go well when you retest these guys in here. I think you're going to do it. And then you have a very clear upper level to watch now too, right in here. But this is the first signs of what? That we could roll the move. If you make new lows, it's not going to be a good thing going into next week. You will continue to see downside, maybe all the way to 590. And then that's where you catch a bounce. So what you're going to do right now is say you're going to ping pong between these two guys. This is what you're going to do until you figure it out. This is where you're watching, right at that daily expected move. Do you see it? And then this is what you're watching on the downside. And look, that's almost right at the 95% line. You're ping pong between these now for the day. Now, if you can ping pong once and then make new high, then you're not going to continue. But if you keep doing this into this, then you can just continue. And you never want to break that next low. You just really want to see this into this. That's what you want to see here. I'll draw it up, right? And we can watch it. We can come back to it because we click around a lot, right? You want to see this, 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 and then you want to see that new high. Then you come back probably and go like that. That's how you build this thing back. Now, you notice that this could mean we squeeze into end of day, right? But then next week we could see some kind of launch, fade, launch. So this is what you want to see if you are a bull, in my opinion. What's a good short right now? I'd have to go look. Actually, I mean, if you're looking for a day trade, now's the potential time to look for it. Like DIA is not like in life right now. I would say, maybe TLT. Apple just a dump right there. That's not good. Wants to go test these guys. Made a new high in the pre-market. Very interesting there. I'm looking for one that like has actually rolled up. Yeah, you don't have a lot that look like great opportunities like right now. You're still looking for the roll up like this, like Meta. Meta, this was my drawing for Meta. Down into up, 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 and then you fall. Meta's going to be the one we utilize. Down into up, and then we fall. All you see is the 2 hour able to go boom. You see a nice 2 hour drag out move all the way to like 720 maybe. Weekly expected move next week, and then it falls. So as far as it stands, like what's a good short? I'm still not inclined to believe that we're in like a bearish market right now. I'm really not. I think if anything, I'd be like looking at Microsoft and something that's like just belligerent. But Microsoft still had some room, didn't it, Patreon? We went over Microsoft. I believe Microsoft still had some room. Yeah, Microsoft still has room. Like 485, 490, maybe it gets to 500. No, this Microsoft looks like, oh my goodness, like a 2 month short on Microsoft looks pretty interesting once we hit 483. Yeah, you need to probably give this up. Are we starting to make this into a golden pocket? Like what's going on here? Like what the hell is happening? Let's just go from this move right here. No, it's still deeper. You're still looking for the easier to execute trade. This will be close to the center line, even if it's brief. right? Especially if we just do like this, it still will be close to that center line. That'll be nice. But I think you have to keep this on the table. I think that's what happens for Microsoft. That looks very likely, but you can't discount a couple days of up into that downside, right? So you could see here is like up, just slightly up, that drug out like lame price action into down. And then you see this go wham. We kind of do like bam, bam, then you go up. That'd be interesting. It's either that or you just fall right now. You don't even get that extra, like, right? This is what you're betting on if you're bullish, pretty much. That's about it. Maybe to 500, 20 points, 22 points. What could happen, though? Something really bad. Really, it can get worse than that. Your risk to reward here is not looking good anymore. Your risk is all the way down to 430. Like, all the way down to here. So, you can play that upside. I mean, your shorter time frames, you don't really care. You don't really care if you're shorter time frames. All right, we know the pathing, right, that we're looking for here. To get back to bull, got to take out that high. Then we're going to retest it. Maybe early next week, you see a dip. Something like this. We might even go up in expiration as well. Tesla. Tesla's not crazy to be bullish on. You're above 5-day. You haven't curled down a 2-hour. You literally, all you have to do is curl up a 30-minute here and you're back to bull. This is a swing trade to the upside. So it goes like this. If you go like this and you reject before crossing this, then it's a bad thing. There's still a trade here. Expiration is June 18th. If you guys want the website for that, we can post that to Patreon. I think I forgot to. Keep forgetting everything now. Hey, I'm Dizzle getting down to that line, right? You can come down to that line, but you need to see a squeeze here. You don't want to do this. You really don't want to do this. I mean, this can be that time where the SPY continues to go up, but I don't think you want to set that up, man. It's a rough look for AMD right now. Curling down on the daily, showing divergence. That's a bad look. You don't want to mess around with that. You need that to come back. Same with Apple. Don't want to mess around with shit like this. Like this is rough. And then you're going, okay, well, how can it not be rough? Well, we're dipping into buyers, but man, it's extended out. We maybe have 30-minute to it's like, man, this is rough. Looks like things want to do that roll. Look, y'all wants to do that roll. So this is like potentially where people add shorts for the second move down for like Meta. So Meta for today, I don't think that roll gets you that much though. That's the problem. And you already had one dip down to make that new low. Yeah, I don't even think Meta looks good. Markets look difficult because like all that this could be is this, right? Losing that's fine. You just don't want to come up to here and lose it again. And even there, it's fine. But then you would say we don't want to do this and lose it again. So the short opportunities are still up higher. If it's not going to give you the short opportunity now, like wait for it to give it to you later. Sell in June and eat a prune. I don't know if I've ever eaten a prune, like just been like, ooh, prune. I don't even know what like if you were like, hey, go get me a prune, I'd be like, what? That's how sheltered I am. Was it really 60? No way. I thought it was 50. I thought it was like just barely better. Am I reading it wrong? Oh fuck. No, I read the previous. 60.5. Oh yeah, this is gonna be, oh, okay. All right, I get it. All right. Cool. Cool. So we head up into expiration then. So They scare you with the war talk and all the riots, the huge amount of riots. If they're really that big, I don't even know. I don't know what to believe. There's AI in the world now, so I don't know what to believe anymore, guys. As far as like video footage online, I just don't know what to believe anymore. Um, well, that would mean, hey, we have an excuse to go higher next week. And then next week you'll get Vixration on the same day as JP. Uh-oh. J Pizzle for Shizzle Dizzle. They do, Jim. Do you think Apple will have a better week next week? It's hard to say. It's hard to say Apple will have a better week. Apple continues to break down and show new lows. So do you see how in this one, Apple's able to get to here? You probably see 5-minute stuff too. Like if you're day trading this, you're looking, you're going, okay, where are those sellers? Right here. Okay, right there. Like this is not what you want to see. And that 2 hour goes down, and this is where I reloaded. This is where you manage because you're like, oh, we're gonna roll and break that higher probability. For now, you really, it's like it's really adding up to this is not what you want to see. And I have to be very, very honest about that. The daily is turned down, right? So the only thing that you could say to turn this around is now you have a solidified new high right there. So you don't have to take out this one anymore. You just have to take out that one. And then you need to see a dip down. And probably the better thing to do is wait for that opportunity over here on a retest. Apple's going to be difficult. I would say in normal times, this would be one that you would be paying attention to, but during tariff times, it's a lot different. You need like good news for Apple directly. And you don't really have a good structure here for a trade setup. If this changes next week, we might do a private stream on Sunday or next week. We'll see, like during market hours. We said we wanted to do one private stream during market hours for Patreon members. But Apple's going to need some time to show us what it wants to do. Because right now it's showing us bad things and we think it's awful and it's terrible. And it is. It is a bad thing to roll down this 4 hour. What does it add up to? Hey, we're going to lose this low. We're in negative territory. This is bad. Right? So maybe I want to watch what happens here. See if we break this little trend. If we break that trend, okay, we bounce up. People think it's all good and then we just roll. But if we can hold that and we go up and we make new high, oh, we can do this and then go up. That would take you up into July, though. So I think Apple is very likely to do this and then bounce up. I think for the timing of this looks more likely. You come up into that, then you turn down, and then we see if we can hold up at buyers. Like this is very, very bad for Apple for the time being until you can show like, hey, we can take this back. And that would just be difficult, I think, in these times. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know GME at all, but I think it will. It'll scream. Like I said, if it's a shakeout, then you're just going to see a big move from here. I did hear that the offering was up at this price, so it's probably going to get back to that price. Yeah, the offering was at this price, so it's probably going to make its way back to that price eventually. But you're still looking for divergence or higher low. Like one that goes like this, just a big move takes you above the 5 a little bit, then you can kind of come down. So either way, you need big moves. There's a lot of sellers in there. AMC trying to come back. This one as well, a lot of sellers, right? Reject, turn down. Most likely this is going to roll to $3. So what do you need to see for it to come back? Take back the 5, take back the price action levels you need to get. So right here, do both, come back down into it, test that 5, and go up to positive territory and keep taking out highs. That's what you need. Yeah, rough spot here for AMC and GME. DJT's in a rough spot too. Did you see this? DJT continues to make like these little 2 hour divergences on the RSI, but they just don't produce anything. And the 30-minute is extremely negative. That's why squeezing from here would be such a random, crazy thing that I can't really lean towards squeeze in the small guys right now. We need to see a little bit more price action, probably like another few days, maybe even a couple of weeks. Nice. Dark pool is loaded. I know, it's crazy. DJT is just like the fastest AMC or GME. Like they're just pumping shorts into it all the time. Is gently dropping today? Yeah, it should gently drop. We should see 595.34 again. Like 595.34. Those levels are marked off right here. That'd be very, very nice to see. And then we can figure out a lot based on the reaction. If we get a reaction from 595.34 or a little bit lower right at 595, if we see a good reaction there, it kind of tells us a decent amount. Especially if we get like news at the same time. Tells us like, okay, up into expiration. Like whatever price action we see today can hopefully be our hint. Guys, I'm going to refill my coffee real quick. I will be right back. Not going anywhere, just refilling coffee. And we'll go look at the Qs, okay, Jonna? And I'll get you that level right when I get back. 2 minutes. All right, we're back. We're going to look at the Qs real quick. Looking at the Qs, you're in a very similar boat. Now, the Qs have already done really what they need to do during market hours. They're in that gap. So we like this. The Qs are kind of arguing like we don't need to go lower at all. They're saying like we can just head up. If you put in the extended hours, you can kind of see what you can hold up at and what you're resisting from. Okay, resistance on this one, hold up on that one. So if this move's not done, just keep going. But right now you're rejecting from sellers saying, hey, we're gonna reverse that. We're gonna reject from here. We're gonna come down and we're gonna lose this low. So what you want to be watching right now is this level right here. And then if you take into consideration your daily expected moves, which I don't remember giving out the second state. God dang, second standard deviation. It's actually 524.60, so it's very, very close. So I don't think you necessarily want to play around with that, but you could see a tag of that line is what's overall my assessment is retagging that line is great. You don't want to lose that line at all. I mean, look at this. Like you literally, that is like the line in the sand is here. So you probably don't want to do that. You would probably rather see like a wick down into here. But the point here is just this is very possible at some point before you're able to fix it and turn back up. Maybe end of day, you see a squeeze or something. I think bulls would rather just go up. I don't think the Qs are suggesting that it has to go down to that wick. So the Qs are saying like, hey, we can just try to make our attempt now. That's kind of what I see. I'm leaving it available, though, to come all the way down to that line. Fill gap. Yeah, and as it stands, the 2 hour, it's in a similar spot to the SPY. I still think you could continue this too on Monday, right? Keep going on Monday, maybe even go into like a little bit of Tuesday, and then you start to see this thing ramp up. Because you could be in that extended 2 hour pullback time, maybe. And then you actually curl up into positive territory. And you just see up into expiration, up into OPEX, maybe even a little bit of up and down on Monday, volatility increasing. And then Tuesday, we start to just tumble towards the end of the month. VIX making its next move. What were we looking for from volatility? Well, we're looking for divergence or some kind of lower high. Right now, we are getting a retest and seeing if we're able to break down lower for the 30-minute chart, but looking pretty sturdy as of right now. So if this is able to curl up, we can see that scale up dramatically, and we don't want to see that right now. We would rather this fail here, come down into this area, then set up a lower high. That would be better for volatility. Unless you're a bear, then you definitely want to see higher volatility, right? I want to see higher volatility because the trades get better. What are you guys chatting about? IWM 2850? For IWM, I just like to utilize daily expected moves for Fridays for IWM, especially indices. So daily expected move for IWM, you can utilize like both on those. So you're already below it. So what you'd be looking for is the second one. So you're already experiencing something a little bit crazy. I think 208 is definitely possible. 208 is definitely possible. If you're looking at 5 minutes and stuff like that, you're going, okay, we might need to make a higher low or divergence at some point. So very likely that you're going to see some kind of 5-minute move. It's just, is that actually like strong to then pull back, right? And then you start to see upside? Or is that just going to be like down, down, and down, and down, and down? We tag into here, and then we start to do this. That's pretty much all you're looking at for IWM. I think IWM, it looks really rough to me right now. Like, look, you're extended away from the 5, like, pretty aggressively. We can just tap up to that and be done. The 5 is sitting, like, right in the middle of here, which is exactly where you'd want to, like, reject from. So I'm not the happiest with this. I think it's got to build back over time. You have to see these levels taken out now. I'm just excited for volatility to pick up. I think it'll pick up in the next couple of weeks, like heavier than like. And I think it'll remain like right now. It's picking up. I think it could subside again, but I think we could see volatility pick up like late next week. I'd be very happy about that. Be very, very happy with that timing. Honestly, it's here. See, I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm kind of like, I can't trust any kind of move from volatility with expiration right there. And the point of like, people see that it's really high, so we can get overreactions with hedging right now. And it can cause volatility, but really just do we lose 591? All right, if we lose 591, we're looking for the bounce up and the failure. That's it. If you lose 591, all of the bear side, and for the Qs, if you lose this right here, 522.76, something around 572 or 522.76, you lose that, we can start to talk about, oh, a 2-hour move, right? It'll still be potentially a 2-hour move up, but that 2-hour move up starts to add up to what? Oh, and fail, right? Bam, right there. Left, head, right shoulder. That's what I don't want to see, right? I kind of want that little squeeze into here. I want to go to monthly expected move if I'm totally honest with you. I want to get there. Getting there would be awesome. Then I can look for calling a top. All right, let's see if we dip down to that line. Qs are going to be bad. Qs are going to be risky looking. Indices are breaking down. They are. And I still want that test of 595, right? 5 right in here. That would be good. Then we see what happens. 522 just gets you a counter trend move though. 522 is too deep. Like 523 maybe. 523. I would say you're not past five. You haven't even tested 524.60 yet. Like 4 regular hours. Spy to 592 today to fill gap. Bam. That is possible. That actually is very possible with that what the Qs want to do, but the Qs kind of cut your room there. So you need to see another sector sell off besides tech. Well, like, so apparently energy cost was supposed to be going down, but our bill keeps going up every single time. So, like, I don't think we're over or under. I think we're well supplied from what I consider. But they keep saying we're more towards, I would say, like at equilibrium or oversupplied, but we're not seeing the oversupply in what we actually pay. So do I believe we're oversupplied? That's kind of what it says. It's like, well, you can tell me we're oversupplied, but if we were oversupplied, then we would be getting cheaper energy. We're getting more expensive energy, unless that is a monopolizing kind of thing going on with energy, which is why I've been looking at solar stuff a lot lately. Because I can't tell. Like, you can't tell what to believe anymore as far as like talk about energy goes. Oh, we're producing 10 times the amount of energy as the Biden administration. It's like, okay, well, my bill went up. Like, that makes no sense. Like, are you producing more and it's costing more for me? That makes, because that's very inefficient, right? Life's doing good, John. Thank you for asking. I mean, I think nuclear energy is what we're gonna go into. I think everyone's gonna switch to nuclear energy. Like, I think, or not necessarily switch. I think you're already seeing like more plants will be built. I think they will have to. Like, isn't nuclear like the only one that we're actually efficient? Like, okay. Yeah, we're gonna see if we can react up now for a retest again, but this is not going well. Right now, you're still pointing straight down. VIX even gave you that divergence right there. Very, very nice. Watch for VIX to roll. Yeah, watch for VIX to roll. Watch for SPY to curl up. This is where we can attempt the higher low scenario. This is where you have to do the higher low scenario. If you don't get through this center, though, you can just continue that downside. So that would be the divergence look. So right now, you're going to decide, like, hey, are we heading down there right now? Are we going to see this? I think you're more likely to see like this into this or this into this right now. If we just sweep it and go test, then it's just a test of the low. If we just like go down there really, really fast. Now we have to see support there, but I think so, CT. I think so. I think this is a rebalancing. I really do. I think that the 2 hours is just going to cross down. We're going to see a pullback. I think we're going to see the 2 hour just pull back for a few days into like Wednesday, and then we're going to see it start to ramp up. That's what I think is coming. And I don't think this is a divergence going to be created here either. I think this will be the first big push for volatility. I think that's like your that's like one of these. One of these. I think it sticks with us for a few weeks. I don't think it'll be like terribly long. I think you're just going to see like probably boom boom come up to here, then you go up, Then you come up to here, and you go, then you go one more time. Then you go like this. And look at that, mid-July. That's all you have to go through. It's just we have the opportunity for more volatility if we want to come fill gaps. Like if we want to see major volatility come in, this is going to be our opportunity to see it. So very nice. That's what I think this administration says. I mean, they're doing a lot of what they say. The way they're doing it isn't necessarily the best, like the tariffs and stuff like that. Like they're doing everything they say. The only thing they're not doing is like stuff that is important, but for like real life right now, I don't think it's like the most important, but it is important. It's like Epstein stuff, the riot stuff. I think all of these are these type of things I usually see as potential distractions from the real thing. And now you're starting to see a real thing and like war stuff start to pick up, but those people always fight each other, so it's like hard to even believe in that. I think you're more likely to see like a scare of I guess whatever excuse you want to pull back markets at this point. I just don't buy any information because literally a week ago we were talking about this feud in the Trump administration between Musk and him. We're not thinking about it. Literally we were talking about Epstein. We're not thinking about it. Now we're talking about riots. By like 2 weeks from now, we're probably not going to be talking about it anymore. Like right after July 4th, we're probably not going to talk about it anymore. Did the Michigan consumer sentiment come in? Yeah, it came in at like 60. Came in way higher. The question is, where did Tony go? Well, I had some janky, scheduling this week, so I totally understand Tony not being able to make it. Vic's gonna fill that and then pump. I agree with you, CT. That actually is my assessment on the market. I think we're gonna see something uglier though. I really do. Like I don't think we're gonna be able to do this now. I think we're gonna set it up like here maybe. If we get lucky and it gets up to there by there, okay, cool. Somewhere up in here, I literally think from there you're gonna start to see like either volatility increase and then break. And then I think this is probably gonna be like lower like that. Maybe even into July 18th. And it might look something like this. Right, now I need to see the next month's monthly expected move. That'll tell us a lot. But this monthly expected move being right by this gap is very important. We can see that for this month that was going to be important, so I'm inclined to look at that. I'm inclined to look at the retest. We can hold up right here, though. Like if you just want to extend that daily pullback like this just kind of goes away. You just kind of do that. So we'll see what we get. Could be better than that, too. It could literally just be that. I'm inclined to believe we're going down to here, though. I think it'll end up looking something like this. And then you're going to break the high, maybe even significantly here. Quick test down. Then we go back up. So this week will tell us a lot. Actually, next week and the week after that. So the end of June will tell us a lot more. Black Monday? I don't think so. I don't think so, unfortunately. If I did, I would bet on it, right? $500 goes a long way if you're betting. If you think a Black Swan, a Black Monday is coming, and you're going to see 3% down in one day, hey, $500 goes a long way. The crazy thing, CT, will be the overreaction. So weirdly enough, if we make an upward move and you see reversal signals at the end of next week, I will tell you this: if you see reversal signals at the end of next week, the play is probably on volatility. The play is probably on volatility, just in case you see an overreaction and you go all the way up to like 37. That would be an overreaction, in my opinion. Depending on what the reason is and how price is moving, we can dictate if it's kind of overreaction, but my goodness. To Mad Dog, you saying you're heading out? Hey, hope you have a good one, buddy. On SPY from low to recent high is about 558. See, I think that makes a lot of sense. So like if you really want to discuss it, you would say it wants to come back into where? It wants to come back into here. So I am inclined to pay attention to all of this now and say like, okay, 563 would be very, very nice. But anything in here would be really nice to get to. If you wanted to consider the entire zone, that is technically like all of this in here. So you can make a big zone. Kind of, it's like our SPX. Yeah, if you really want it to be simple, it's like this. It's really, really freaking simple if you just do it like this and you just say, okay, we're reacting to here. We got through the center point. Okay, whether we peak our head above or not, this can still be a good thing. We don't have to completely break down. But we need to make sure to get a strong move from right here because we can set up something bad right there. So whether we go up or not doesn't really matter. Go down now. Okay. Try to figure it out and go up. Go up now. You just show more pathway higher. This is still a great thing. Maybe you'll get lucky and just tap into like the bottom of the zone. But for the time being, you would just really consider this zone right now and say, hey, okay, I'm looking for a daily pullback that takes me into here. That is, in my mind, that is the most likely scenario. Notice this time I'm saying, in my mind, that's the most likely scenario. Meaning, it really depends on what the structure of charts look like around here. But I am very heavily leaning towards this right here. I would really like to see it. And I think you have the setup for it. You have that big weakness that can come in with expiration, and at the same time, we've been squeezing. This thing needs to digest. Just based on those two things alone, you're looking for a pretty solid retest. If you see a circuit breaker, that means you're going down deeper, by the way. If this is going to go like bearish, you have to lose this entire zone. But that means you're going to just see something really bad. 1, 2, 3. Then you kind of do this like stutter step up. Then you fall down again. And then around here, you probably get like a counter trend type of move. And then that can fail again. This is how you go into like still bear market, like more bear market type volatility, is if you lose this zone. If you don't lose the zone, though, you're perfectly fine. And all of your signals are more so suggesting that this could look ugly, but it will be a good thing. So all we have to do is look for our monthly expected move and 2-hour divergence in July. That's pretty much all we have to do. This is why I want the market to buy more time to get up higher, right? Because if we increase volatility into July, these yellow lines are going to be pretty big. Pretty big. Now, the SPY isn't there yet, by the way. The SPX, I haven't changed these levels here. If you want to, that way you're not confused, I'll change them real quick. This was 61.98. What, like 7.8? It's right up there. And then this one's right in the center there where we really like it to be, which is 5624.58. So now you get a visual of like what we're kind of looking for. If it happens in June, okay, happen in June. But then if you go into, say, like July with all this, you're not able to figure it out. You can go down lower. That's what you don't want to see right now. That's why you kind of like to extend in June. Extend, just a crazy move. Then you set up a lower high and you fall as you make that monthly expected move down here. Then you just get to that and you turn around. Like, that's the simplest way to view this market right now, is just like, hey, there should be a daily pullback soon. I might have to wait like 3 or 4 weeks for that to happen. And that's it. If you just sit around and waited for the daily pullback and had some fun with your summer, that's probably the best person to be right now. The people who want to play this are just going to be going through stress while you could be relaxing. We're not even going down to the low. Thought we'd want to do that this morning. No, I don't think during summer. No, the time to see it would be. Actually, there's only a couple times where you could see it. So actually, the time to see something really bad, like a circuit breaker type moment, or like just something that causes a flush, and algorithms flush too, is still that window is right after expiration and right after quad witching. It is there. Now, the other place that you would say is end of July going right into August before we get rate cuts in September. That would be a good point to see it. You kind of like see downside into rate cuts being announced. But if you see it now, you're looking for kind of an announcement towards mid-July that they're like opening. They're saying a rate cut is very is on the table, like it's planned for September. That would be big. People start to price it in. I know I'm saying rate cut. I'm not like leaning towards like, hey, we have to get a rate cut, but the percentages get higher in September. Yeah, we've talked about September for weeks now. Volleyball going insane. What's VIX 9-day look like again? Yikes. Oh, okay. Very nice. Very nice. 2 hour. Oh, very nice. Okay, so I see like we'll see if we can do something here. I think it's gonna be quick. I think this will be like a retest, and then we just ramp back up. This looks very, very reversal friendly now. Like, I would say playing next week is just sketchy at this point. Like, look at this going on. You have divergence on RSI. Yeah, we're walking our way into a dump. It's just, is that dump right this second? Because you see times where you kind of like get it to confirm, look, and then it goes like this. That's all I'm looking for. Just like, do we get a quick little one of those moments where just I could, you could easily just sit back and relax though, right? Like you see that. You can just sit back, relax, take a week off. It's a shortened trading week too. Like you could just literally take a week off. Maybe at the end of the week you look for like a little short. If it happens in June, the weekly goes negative. You are correct. I think you want it to be fast then. So we're kind of saying like, okay, this week will be good. This week we maybe start to turn down. And then this week we'd be crossing. I think this week over here you want it to be. You got to figure your stuff out by like. Yeah, I think it's actually by like mid-July. If you can figure it out by mid-July, you're fine. And what you're going to see one week is like, you're going to see maybe like something quick and ugly now, like next week, late next week, or like the week after that. Wham. Then you see like counter trend, or you hammer that move. Maybe you come up for a sec, you hammer the move, then you wick up. Yeah, you got to see it quick on the weekly. I don't want to roll that. So all I'm talking about, by the way, if you're really like confused, it's just this. Do we actually get a week to close below this line? Like that's all I'm really watching. Right? Oh, we gave it up. Oh, we took it back. Oh, we closed below, bad things. Oh, we gave it up. We took it back. Oh, we closed below, bad things. Right? It's kind of like here, you didn't close below, so you're not as worried. Now you're like, oh shit, we closed below. What do? We build up, we close below again. Oh, bad thing. Same thing. Like right here is pretty much what I think you'll maybe experience. Something like this. Where it's just like, oh my God, it looks awful. And then it still builds up. Look at that. It even confirmed below the 9. That's when it's like risky. And then it just turns up. That's kind of what you're looking for. Nice. Okay. Oh, dude, that's what I'm talking about. CT. So next week, if UVXY can get smashed again and VIX gets smashed, and we just see a 2 hour curl up, we just see like a 2 hour trend move for 2 days going into expiration, and then we see a 2 hour confirm up, maybe even a 30-minute divergence. Ooh, your boy over here I think volatility is the play. I think people are going to overhedge, and we could see something ugly that they even more so overhedge. I think people will hedge. If you look at VIX, I think people will hedge all the way potentially up to like 37, if not more, towards like 43 or like that 40-80 level. I think you're going to hedge to that type of position eventually. You're going to see like a spike. At the least, I see like 29, 30. So I think you're going to get the overreaction, meaning the SPY might just do like so people are going to hedge like we're breaking through this, but we're really just doing this. And by the way, I still see this first, right? We're just doing this, but people are going to hedge like we're losing this. That's what I think will come. I think we're going to see one of those huge psychological moments where people think it's like way riskier than it really is as far as technicals stand. Yeah. Should be an interesting time, though. We can discuss these things further. We'll be looking at some things. We might have a macro video. We might not because I'm just going through a lot. We might not have a macro video this weekend. Unless you guys really want it. It is an important time, but really until we see if we're daily pullbacking now, if we're daily pullbacking after next week, those are the two things we're really interested in. And we could still extend this thing for longer. Like just keep considering what's happening right now. What's happening right now is we're seeing a technical, a price action breakdown, a technical breakdown with the 5-day and the MACD going negative. But at the same time, this is just a 2-hour that's curling down in positive territory. The only thing is how low can we go before we actually like roll? Like roll? Well, you have to lose 591. So if you take that into consideration, why can't that happen over here? Why can't that happen again over here? Why can't we see a pullback and keep doing it over here? Like really? This could be like the slowest grind to the upside all the way out throughout July if we really want to. Go into mid-July and then fall. There's like a million ways this could play out if it wants to remain irrational. I'm inclined to believe, though, volatility is in a positive trend on the 2-hour, my friends. I would say like this was one of the most lackluster ones that I've seen. This is the most like theta burn kind of moves that I've seen in a long time. At least like for almost across the board. So the plays were definitely in individual names. And the one that I picked was Apple. That one didn't work out. Thankfully, IWM, that play worked out pretty nicely at the end. I don't think I made the best profit on it, but profit's profit. We'll take that. Sold like right at this zone. That one was not the best. Now you have Apple making a 30-minute divergence and saying it wants to come back. So you cross up on a 30-minute here, you have a chance. Maybe I'll hop back in. Maybe. We'll see if that confirms by end of day. You gotta, I'm gonna be careful with that one. Gotta see if that confirms by end of day. We are down at daily expected move areas. You're not at the monthly yet, though. You can go lower, but we are at weekly expected move as well, near that area. So I'd watch it closely. It hasn't worked out a lot of these trades. Usually Apple's a lot better behaving. So this is the first, one of the only smaller amount of times where an Apple trade has really been like rough. And it really wasn't that bad if you just knew, hey, managed trade. Rejection, managed trade again. Now you're like, oh, 30-minute divergence. Look, a setup. Okay, cool. Maybe look at a 15 if you want to spread it out a little bit. You'll probably see it on a 15. Right? You see this? This is how it comes back. See if that 15-minute can curl up. It has to break through all of these guys, though. Like literally that and the wick. It needs to take out the wick, too. Like you're saying 15-minute divergence, that means chance of doing what? That. Right? So really the play is like here and here. Pretty much like trying to catch a little 2-hour move. Use 30. Trying. What are we shaping up to here? 5 minutes, nothing good there for the time being. You really don't want rejection right now. You want this to try to continue. At least up to here. Then from there, we can see something bad. From there, we can see something good. Right now, you'd be leaning towards bad, by the way. So peek over at VIX again. Yeah, there you go. There's the wicks. Nice. Okay, you don't want that to turn up yet. You want that to come down first, then turn up, then fail, then turn up again. And then look at that. That adds up to pretty much like Wednesday. That would be pretty awesome. I think you might even want to break down further than that. You might want to see this now. Yeah. It's going to take its time. All right, let's see what you guys are chatting about. Dow looks bad. Like DIA looks like it's just continuing to roll and roll and roll. Even extended, I believe, looks like roll. I can't load it. Let's look at DJ. Oof. Yeah, that's the low you want to keep. This is showing more weakness. If we see a difference here between SPY and the Dow, that would be big. This is the low you want to keep. Like it's literally going down to line in the sand. See if I can go over to DIA now. Okay. Yeah, see how we lost it? That's the roll. That's a roll. So now you have clear paths down. So DIA is not happy here. You need to see like a random squeeze. 406.71. So you're not even down at the lowest levels that you could be for the month. You are reaching down towards a weekly move. You are down below the daily expected move. You rejected off of that right here. See if the SPY will follow. See what I'm saying? Ping pong? Ping, pong, ping, right? Ping here, ping here, ping here, ping here. What you're looking for is a break on one of these. You see a break on one of those. Okay, and then pull this up. Let's go look. I'm going to look through some names here at the end on 30-minute charts. Apple, I'd be watching. Potential turnaround. Tesla watching for 30-minute to curl up. Amazon, are you done? Amazon doesn't say it's done. It might need to figure stuff out, but it's got a shot here. It's got a shot here for Amazon to be done with its 2-hour pullback. Watch for rolls though, right? NVIDIA finally breaking that low. Now you're looking for potential retest of 144 or flush down to 140. 2 hours still positive territory. A loss for NVIDIA of 139 would be a big deal. AMD curled down to the point, did not lose that point just yet that we were talking about in last night's video. Also, hey, in the chat real quick, did you guys like last night's video? That's how we used to do things. I wanted to do a throwback kind of video where we do things like we used to. We just go through a bunch of charts. You guys like that better? I was just wondering. Than us just talking about like kind of most probable things and focusing on SPY and Qs. You guys like us to look through a bunch of names, right? Meta is getting interesting to me. I think this is somewhere where Meta could bounce and has divergence as well. Like I said for Meta, let's do that real quick. Let's do Meta. Like I said for Meta, this is what I see for Meta going forward. I want to see a 2-hour divergence here. I think Meta will be a good indicator of what is going to happen here. You are noticing a tiny 30-minute. You can probably see it even better on the 15. You see that 15 is super significant right now. This is Meta going to attempt to make an upside move for the 2-hour chart. The 2-hour is still positive, so I'm looking for Meta to show a 2-hour grinding move to the upside, and then we're going to subside that after Wednesday or Friday of next week, forming some kind of divergence here on your MACD and RSI at the same time. Right there. That's my assessment for Meta. This is a setup that has happened multiple times for Meta, and actually the last time a setup like this happened, it worked out perfectly for us. I wasn't able to catch that move, if you recall, because I was greedy for the 30-minute divergence. I didn't take the 2-hour cross down. Yes, you guys like it? Old school, best school. Okay, cool. We'll try to stick to that for the time being. On days that we can really utilize the looking at multiple charts, we'll look at it. When I have time, we'll do multiple charts. NVIDIA, if you really want to take a hard look at NVIDIA, you would say what? Well, has this loss like the critical area? That's this area right here. Let me check DIA real quick. Hold on, something's happening. Okay, not losing that yet. That's what you don't want to lose for DIA. Okay, I was just making sure. NVIDIA, losing this makes you a lot worse off. I do think NVIDIA has the chance, because we have the chance for rotation. I do think NVIDIA has the chance to sell off more and start some kind of downtrend, but see upside into like the 18th for a rejection. I think that's very possible. The next thing that could be possible is just the squeeze moment to 150 that is kind of euphoric, that kind of fails, okay? In this area, you'll look for something like this, right? I think this is a very likely scenario for NVIDIA, but overall, what's the better trade for NVIDIA, guys? It's the daily chart. It's whenever you come down like this, or if you want to go higher, come down like this, or see something worse, right? Either way, it's when this daily is more so down by that center line, just like in the past, right? Just like in the past, when it comes down near that center line and even goes pretty negative, we usually see 2-hour divergences, and then you get what? A massive retest, right? So here, massive retest into what? Into upside as we curl up into positive territory again. So we're in one of those moments where you could see that. We could see something like this over here where it just barely curls down, right, and curls back up. That is this scenario right here. Then you watch out for divergences. So NVIDIA is looking like it's shaping up to do good things later on. More obviously later on. It can continue to do irrational things now and try to get to 155-ish, but for the time being, it's like, do I want to chase to 155 when there's a high probability of seeing something like 130, seeing something like 115 over the next, like, say, month? Maybe, maybe not, right? That's going to be on each individual trader. So I just like to give you the info that I see as important. Tempest, if you look at this, very good move so far. Very, very nice. I want it to continue. I don't want it to stop here, because if you stop here, you're saying we kind of want to reverse down the trend, and that's not a good thing. So as of now, you've done what you need to do. You need to squeeze higher, right? You need to squeeze higher. That would be the big deal here. Squeeze higher, and then you can come back down into all of this later on if you would like, right? We can easily do what? We can go up, right? Break through, go up, and then mark off a new zone. We can get rid of this one if we can see more upside. Right now, you want to watch that low. That's why you don't even need this on there. But I think you need to see a good upside move to really deal with like the fact that you can come retest this. So I want this to go boom into like bust into turning back up. And that adds to mid-July as well. So let's look at shorter time frames, see if that's very possible. Ooh, 2-hour pullback is still very, very possible here. So the 2 hours still could be in this dry kind of like flagging move. And then you actually cross up. That'd be a good thing if we're able to do this and curl up into positive territory. You see the next move. Now, the next time you see 2-hour divergence, you want to treat it seriously. Like very seriously. Because you have a lot going on in these areas. So if we take everything off and you just look at this and you go, okay, well, if it created a 2-hour divergence here and then it rotated down, what are we doing? Well, you're maybe retesting these levels down here, right? So maybe at this point, you want to say, what's the thing we used last time to go higher? It was this, right? Very obviously this, right in the middle there. So maybe we want to go retest these guys again. And if anything, you could like draw a little trend or something like that. You could say, okay, this might be the area that we try to bounce from, somewhere in here. I think it needs to squeeze. I do. I think the 30-minute needs to go here, and then the 30-minute needs to wipe out divergence if you just want to see continued upside. You need to see like bam, bam, bam. Yeah, you got one more move here. I think you have one more move to the upside here, or Tempest, before we start to deal with, hey, are we going to break down far enough? And right here is where you really want to watch that roll. Right there. You start to break through this. That's why you want to watch it. So I think this next move could be a good one. If you get the 30-minute to confirm up into positive territory, you take out the high, you make a new one, you hope for a squeeze, or else you could set a trap. Very nice. Intraday trading anymore. I know, isn't it so much more relaxing, Richard? Isn't it so much more relaxing, though? And you don't really deal with theta as much. You just look for the key moments. So, like, really, I've been a little bit less patient than normal. A lot of times, I will do this, and when I take a trade here, I will sell it in here, maybe take it again if the dip, sell it in here, and then I will just sit and not do anything for like a month. And then I'll just wait till we get to like this point again. I wait to just see the big inflection points. I've been kind of trading on the inside a little bit more, which I would say like overall has been like okay. I don't think it's been like the best. I haven't executed the best. I can admit that to myself. That's perfectly fine. But for me, I kind of want to get back to old ways, Richard. Old ways as in just like, hey, if we see this, what do we see up here? Okay, it's bad. Okay, then we go down. Okay, what do we see at that July monthly expected move? Okay, we see this, so it's good, right? It's much easier to execute that way because really what we're looking for is daily pullback. And so I'm looking for ones that could get serious daily pullback. So I really like Meta. I really like Meta. I think Meta could be a fun one where you could see, you know, like a 10% drop all of a sudden and people really like scared of it. And then it just curls up into positive territory and everything's fine. And then you actually take out this high. And so what you do is you do this. You kind of do this and you say, okay, so if I take a play down there, what am I looking to sell at? Like potentially right here. So you would say the play is from like here to here going into say like August or something like that. Oh, like that would be very, very nice. And if I see a reversal signal here, I could even play from here to about here. Then I could be out before I'm planning on, you know, getting back in. And then here, I would take profit here, even though I think it would break through. I think it will break through, but I'm going to potentially make decisions there or at a monthly expected move. We'll leave that up. It's like the same thing with like AVGO. Like AVGO's done really good things. Okay, so if AVGO goes up and then curls down and then curls up again, what do I think is going to happen? Well, I could say, okay, this high is where I take profit, right? I could say like, okay, this high is where I take profit because if we just go bam, then I don't necessarily want to keep holding. But then if we do this, sky through, and then we use that as support, I can go up again. That's how you make trends. That's how you'll end up with people drawing lines like this, right? That's all it is. Pretty much your 200. So I'm saying your 200 is going to start to go, and you're just going to keep hitting that. Might be the 50. See the 50? You can see it. You can see it go up, up, up. Kind of like over here. See the 50? 200, just going, going, going. Now, none of that's happened yet, but I have an idea for it in my head, which is a good thing. Not bad to have an idea. Really map things out. Hey, maybe monthly expected move is up in here, right? And I can say, okay, I could hold runners to that. I can say, okay, take profit, leave runners. If I have extended out the option enough. Maybe I reposition the option on a 2-hour pullback, and then I go, okay, now I'm playing the monthly expected move. Maybe instead of this daily, right, I'm playing a 2-hour, and maybe this 2-hour takes me up. And we see a big move, and then I go, okay, 2-hour needs to pull back, and then 2-hour needs to go again, and then I go, okay, now I'm fully out of the play. There's a monthly expected move right up there. Just like over here, once again, what is this? This is up, right? So maybe the trade was here, up, curled up in a positive territory, up, 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 up. Oh, we go into something, break down, right? Pulls back. Then we ride that into the monthly expected move where we start to reject from. Right, you can really make plans very, very well when you have those type of moves and a little bit of skill behind it. All right, guys, but today, that is all the time I do have for you today. Hold on, let me read what Dave's saying. Dave's usually got some good stuff. Between now and mid-July 1st, think we'll see 570 SPY. That will be a great buying opportunity for the summer. I think you're going to see those levels. I'm a week further out than you, Dave. I am 1 week further than that. I am seeing Meta curl up with potential 30-minute divergence soon. If Meta curls up with 30-minute divergence, then I think we go up into OpEx. But then after that, I agree with you. Right after that OpEx, I start to agree with you, okay? Have a happy Father's Day, Luke, and all the fathers out there. Hey, yeah, cheers to all you fathers out there, right? Maybe we'll do a little, you know, if the fathers really want it, we can do a private stream for the dads next week, all right? Private stream, grab some beers at the end of the day, maybe. Just have a chill little private stream at the end of the day. Does that sound fun? I like it. Join Patreon, fathers, okay? Join Patreon right now. We'll have a little Father's Day stream for you next week. Maybe early on Monday or Tuesday. Or maybe we'll have a couple because like Wednesday afternoon, Friday afternoon would be great times to look for setups, okay? And Jana, you can come with us. Girls are allowed. All right? Girls are allowed. But you have to be cool with us talking about how much we can bench at, as we're dads at 45, Okay? You have to say, "Ooh, big muscles," okay? You have to really gas up the boys, all right? You got to gas them up. I'm gonna go work out this week. I might work out today, actually. I haven't been able to work out in a while. All right, so as of right now, though, it looks like the SPY wants to curl up. I'm gonna leave you guys on this. Look at Meta. I really want you to look at this play. I'm gonna delete this one. But this is what we had drawn up for Meta before the day started. This was yesterday during the live stream. So that downside into upside, 2-hour pullback into 2-hour move to the upside. Now you just start to see that stagnant motion to the upside. One big move, then it gets stagnant towards the top. Then we can see that thing tear down with the 2-hour divergence. So if you really wanted to see what I'm looking for from Meta here, it quite simply is a move like this, right? That then fails. A move like that then fails. So pay attention to if these things confirm today. If you want to sit out on this kind of stuff because volatility is very high and all you have to do to fail here is literally go like this, curl up for a moment, and then fail that and roll it. That's all you have to do to fail this. So I totally understand. At this time for Meta, you would be more inclined to sit back, relax. Also, Not necessarily. If you're a bull and you like the trend right now and you're going, hey, there's 30-minute divergence and a 2-hour swing trade possible for a weekly expected move next week, you're not really that scared of this, right? If you're good at managing your trades, it's not necessarily a bad thing to like play right here. It's fine. It's just you're going into a potentially risky weekend is all that you don't have to see this upside move first. So I would say managing position size, trading like water is the best thing to be for today. But Meta is suggesting that the market is going to go up next week, not down. That is what Meta is suggesting with the signal, especially if it starts to do what? Confirm that signal. When it confirms that signal, you start to get higher probability that Meta is going to see a 2-hour move to the upside. All right. So I'm going to leave it here for now. You guys can look at that divergence. You can see it on the MACD and RSI, and you can say, hey, maybe this is one that I make an attempt to paper trade on, to practice on, to take a play on with a small amount of money to see how I react in these times. This looks like an opportunity to practice a trade at this point at the monthly expected move, where you could maybe either execute and try to plan out the short for calling a top with a small position, because when you're calling tops, you want a small position. You do not want to be risking a bunch of money during squeezes on the short side. But also, you could execute a 2-hour play to the upside utilizing the 30-minute divergence or a swing trade on the 2-hour chart. There's a lot of opportunities to practice with this type of look. Okay. Thank you guys so much for being here today. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, and I hope you guys have a great one. Just have those notifications on. I might be able to go live later today if wifey's feeling good in the afternoon. No guarantees, but I'll see you guys this weekend or on Monday if we can't go live today. Peace out, guys. Have a great one. I'll talk to you guys later.